Chapter 9 South India. From 3rd century BCE to 13th century CE, there are many kingdoms which founded in South India, namely Shatavahana, Kadamba, Ganga, Pallava, Rashtrakuta, so on. In the previous session, we have been studied about the Shatavahana kingdom. Who are the rulers of the Shatavahana kingdom? How they extended the empire? What was the administrative arrangement of the Shatavahanas? We have learnt in detail. Today, let us get the knowledge about the Kadamba rulers. Kadamba dynasty was founded in 325 CE. Up to 540 CE, they ruled. Around 350 years, they made Karnataka united. It was the first dynasty which was founded in Karnataka, and Kadambas ruled in Karnataka. Banavasi was the capital of the Kadamba dynasty. At present, Banavasi is situated in northern Karnataka. Remarkable contribution has given from them in the field of the art and architecture. There is a famous temple in Banavasi which is called as the Madhukeshwara temple. And many other temples and also the palaces and buildings also constructed from them. Now let us discuss about the rulers of the Kadamba dynasty. Kadamba dynasty was founded by Mayura Sharma. Who was Mayura Sharma? Mayura Sharma was the founder of the Kadamba dynasty, and beginning he was Brahmin. He came to Kanchi to get the Vedic education, and at that time he was insulted by the Pallava ruler of Shivaskanda Varma. When he was insulted, he decided to take revenge against him, and he made army and organized, given systematic training to the army, and announced war against Shivaskanda Varma, the ruler of the Pallava dynasty, and defeated the Pallava ruler, captured the Pallava territories, and founded Kadamba dynasty. When he defeated the Pallava rulers and founding the Kadamba dynasty, he renamed his name as Mayura Varma. After defeating the Pallava rulers, he converted into the Kshatriya family, Kshatriya clan. So, Mayura Varma was the founder of the Kadamba dynasty. Among the rulers of the Kadamba dynasty, the Kakushta Varma also one of the famous notable ruler. During the period of the Kakushta Varma, we have got inscription which is called as the Halmidi inscription. Halmidi inscription we found during the period of the Kakushta Varma. And also the Kakushta Varma also extended the empire, including Mayura Sharma and Kakushta Varma, many other rulers also extended the empire and also the made Karnataka as powerful society or state. Now administration was followed, mainly it was a monarchy. The king was the main ruler. He was the main person who used to take the decision. For the smooth function of the administration, entire territory was divided into many provinces. To look after the administration of provinces, many native rulers or the relatives and many other royal family members used to appoint as a governor of the provincial states. And some of the officials and royal family members and many other used to give the guidelines to the rulers. And economic condition, agriculture was the main occupation of the people of the Kadamba dynasty, and land revenue was the main source of the country income. Land was measured according to the measurement of the land, the tax was fixed, or revenue was fixed. Everyone should be pay the taxes to the government because it was the main sources of the country income. And also there are many other occupational workers also like weavers, spinners, blacksmith, goldsmith, carpenters, or many other oil producers, many other. They are also the professionalist who has given contribution to the society. What was the condition of the women during the Kadamba period? Women esteem high status in the society. She has got the freedom or liberty to participate in the religious activities or the rituals, and she had freedom or liberty to take her own decision, and she had a highest position in the society, and patriarchic family was followed. That is, it was joint family, so the system of the patriarch family was followed from the Kadamba rulers. What was the religious condition of the Kadamba dynasty? Kadambas were the followers of the Vedic religion. The Vedic religion was followed and respected from them, and also other than the Vedic religion, they have given encouragement for other religions like Jainism and also the Buddhism. They followed the ashramas like Brahmacharya ashrama, Grihastha ashrama, Vanapastha ashrama, and Sannyasa ashrama. There are 4 Vedas were there, and also they used to follow the values which are given from the Vedas. And also the Varnashrama system was there, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Same Vedic practices were followed by the Kadamba rulers. And they encouraged other religions like Jainism and Buddhism also. So Vedic culture was encouraged, and Buddhism and also the Jainism was encouraged from them. They gave the charity to the Buddhism and Jainism, and also charity has given to the Jain temples and also the scholars. They have given contribution in the field of the architecture also. Many temples and basatis and also the basatis were built from them. Temples and basatis was an important contribution from them, and palaces also built. So important temples and also the basatis we could see at the place of the Banavasi and Ajanta and Amaravati, many other places. And what was the education system of the Kadamba rulers? They built, there are many educational centers for their Agraharas, Brahmapuri, and Gatikas. Agraharas, they are the residential schools formed in the, it is found in the Telangana or the Talagunda and also the Belagavi. They import the education at the place of the Agraharas and Brahmapuri. Next, Gatikas also. Some residential schools also founded from them. They could see at the place of the Talagunda and Belagavi. You must remember that the Kadambas who ruled Karnataka more than 350 years made Karnataka united. They also announced the war against the neighboring rulers and made as stable the kingdom. And many other neighboring rulers also attacked to the Kadamba kingdom. Even though with their strength and also the courageous way, they have defeated and extended the empire. And the very important contribution from the Kakushta Varma was that Halmidi inscription. It was the first inscription we found during the period of the Kakushta Varma, who was the ruler of the Kadamba dynasty. Okay, so Kadambas also enriched the Kannada literature. Kannada language was encouraged from the Kadamba rulers. Dear students, so far we have been learned about the rulers of the Kadampas and their administration, their economic, social and religious condition. Now I am going to give you some question as open. You should try to answer it. Who founded Kadamba dynasty? Which was the capital of the Kadamba dynasty? Name some of the notable ruler of the Kadamba dynasty. Name the inscription founded during the period of the Kadambas. Write short notes about the religious conditions of the Kadambas. Thank you, students.
In this module, you will learn about the history of the Kadambas of Banavasi. The Kadambas of Banavasi were one of the indigenous kingdoms of Karnataka that ruled from 325 AD to 540 AD. Mayura Sharma was the founder of the Kadamba dynasty. He made Banavasi, which is presently located in Uttara Kannada district, as its capital. The legend states that Mayura Sharma gave up his hereditary priestly or Brahmin vocation and adopted the Kshatriya or warrior way of life, after being subjected to insults by the Pallava king. He later came to be known as Mayura Varma. Mayura Varma then defeated the Pallavas in a war and established the Kadamba Empire. Mayura Varma is remembered as the pride of all Kannadigas. The Kadamba rule brought about political unity for around 300 years. Provincial officers looked after the provinces. The royal priests, ministers and military generals had a significant role in the administration of the kingdom. The main source of income was land revenue. The main occupations in the society were those of carpenters, weavers, oil extractors, goldsmiths, potters, and blacksmiths. Agriculture and trade were encouraged greatly. The people followed Varna Ashrama. The society gave great importance to patriarchy and undivided family. The Kadambas were the followers of Vedic culture. They also encouraged Jainism and Buddhism in their kingdom. Jain temples and Jain scholars at Hanagal and Puligere received charity to promote the spread of Jain culture. Buddhism was also known to be followed in the Kadamba kingdom. Ajanta and Banavasi were the two important centers of Buddhism. The temples became the centers of festive celebration. Prakrit and Sanskrit received encouragement and became the languages of the royal court. The language of the common people was Kannada. The ancient Halmidi inscription in Bellur Taluk in Hassan, which is the first inscription available in Kannada, shows the characteristics of the Kannada language used in the 5th century. The Kadambas laid the foundation for architecture in Karnataka by building many temples and basadis in Banavasi. They built educational centers like Agraharas, Brahmapuris, and Ghatikas. The main Agraharas or residential schools were found in Talagunda and Bali Gavi. Let us now recap all the important points that we have covered in this module on the Kadambas of Banavasi and their contributions to Karnataka and the Indian culture.
Namaste everyone. Welcome to online classes of SRS Heritage School. Today I am going to start new concept from the South India. The kingdom is the Gangas. The Gangas, it is one of the dynasty which founded in South India. It is the second session of the second term. It is a continued part from the lesson of the South India. From this lesson, we are going to discuss about the origin of the Ganga dynasty, King Durvanita and his contributions, Ganga dynasty, administration, economy and religion. Also, we learn about the contribution to literature, art, architecture. You could have seen the map of India. So, northern part of India, southern part of India, eastern and western, in which the Gangas who ruled in South India, it is a place where the location shows or indicates. A Ganga dynasty, either of two distinct but remotely related to Indian dynasties. The Western Gangas ruled in Mysore state, Gangavadi, from about 250 to about 1004 CE. The Eastern Gangas ruled Kalinga from 1028 to 1434-35. So there are two dynasties who ruled in Western and as well as in the Eastern part. The Western Gangas who ruled from the Mysore, now it is called as the Gangavadi. They ruled from the year 250 to up to 1004 CE. And then Eastern Gangas also ruled at the place of the Kalinga from 1028 to 1434-35. Who is the first ruler of the Western Gangas? Now let us learn that. The first ruler of the Western Gangas, Kongani Varman, he carved out of a kingdom by conquest, but his successors, Madhava I and Hari Varman, expanded their influence by martial and military alliances with the Pallavas, Chalukyas, and Kadambas. So Kongani Varma, who was the founder of this dynasty, so he conquered many territories also. But after Kongani Varma, his successors who belong to the same family, namely Madhava I, Ari Varman, these rulers have influenced a lot by following the martial and military alliances. They had friendly relationship. They have matrimonial relationship with the dynasties of the Pallavas, Chalukyas, and Kadambas. By the end of the 8th century, a dynastic dispute weakened the Gangas, but Bhutgas II, 937 to 960, obtained extensive territories between the Tungabhadra and Krishna rivers, ruling from Talakad, the capital, to Vatapi. Repeated Chola invasions cut contact between Gangavadi and the imperial capital, and Talakadu fell into the hands of the Chola ruler Vishnuvardhana in about 1004. So Cholas, they invaded often the Gangavadi, which is the capital of the Ganga kingdom, and it was the important imperial capital of the capital also, and one more place Talakadu also. It is also a capital of the Gangas. So both Gangavadi and Talakadu handed over to the Chola ruler. The Chola occupied the territory and defeated the Ganga ruler, and they extended the Chola empire. Vishnuvardhana in about 1004. So who was the famous ruler of the Chola dynasty by name Vishnuvardhana, who has captured. Most of the Western Gangas were Jains, but some patronized Brahminical Hinduism. They encouraged scholarly works in Kannada, built some remarkable temples, and encouraged deforestation, irrigation, farming, and cross-peninsular trade. The Western Gangas were encouraged about the Jainism. Also, not only Jainism, even they are the followers of the Brahmanical Hinduism also. Many scholars who have adored in the court of the Gangas. That means it indicates that the Gangas who have encouraged and also the given that support them to for the work of the literary works of the Kanda, and there are many scholars who work to produce the new ideas in Kannada language, and also they built many temples also, and they encouraged about the development of the art and architecture also, and they encourage about the deforestation, irrigation, farming, and cross peninsular trade. So trade was followed through the sea routes, and they have they have discouraged about the that is cutting the forest, and they encouraged about the deforestation also, and the farming was the main occupation, and they followed the irrigation system also. When there was no rainy at all at that time, they can be used the irrigation method. Now let us discuss about the recapitulating of the points about the Ganga kingdom. And the Gangas who ruled from 350 CE to 1004 CE. The rise and fall of the dynasty of the Ganga rulers constitute important chapters in early history of Karnataka. Already I told you that there are many dynasties which are found in Karnataka, especially in the southern part of India, and also some dynasties were raised and also they were declined, and among them the Chalukya, the Chola, the Chera, the Pandyas, the Kadambas, many others. Like here also they rise and also as soon as time passes they also decline. According to the evidence, the founder of the Ganga dynasty claimed their descent from the Ikshwaku dynasty. That means the rulers of the Ganga family belong to the Ikshwaku dynasty, where they ruled, and what we call it today. They ruled from Kuvalala, Talakadu, and Manipura. Today, Mane in Nelamangala, Bangalore Rural District. It is located in Nelamangala in Bangalore Rural District. The Gangavadi kingdom, which began with the rule of the Dandiga, also known as the Kongani Varma, was ruled by 27 kings. So Gangavadi, it was a kingdom, or at the place of the Gangavadi, the Gangas who have founded the kingdom. Among them, the Dandiga was the founder of the Ganga dynasty. He had another name called as Kongani Varma. Consolidatedly, we can say that Kongani Varma was the famous ruler of the Ganga dynasty, and he ruled about 27, ruled by 27 kings. So there are many rulers who ruled over Ganga territory. So among them, total 27 kings who have ruled. Now let us discuss about the famous ruler of the Ganga dynasty. The famous ruler of the Ganga dynasty was Durvinita. He was a brave warrior and day scholar. He also ruled for a long period and gained control of Purnata in order to strengthen his kingdom. The Nallala copper inscriptions reveal that constructed many lakes for the purpose of the irrigation. Durvinita was the lover of the literature. He wrote creative works in Sanskrit and Kannada. There are many literary works were written or composed in Kannada and as well as Sanskrit language. Even he translated the Prakrit work Vadakatha of Gunadias into Sanskrit. So Durvinita was a famous ruler. He wrote the book called as Vadakatha. He collected the Vadakatha's information from Gunadias into Sanskrit. That means he translated this book into the Sanskrit languages. Earlier it was in Prakrit language, now he translated into Sanskrit language. Dear students, now I will give you some questions as home fun. You try to answer it. Who was the founder of the Ganga dynasty? Name the rulers of the Ganga dynasty. Which was the capital of the Ganga dynasty? Explain within 10 sentences about Durvinita. Thank you, students.
In this module, you will learn about the Gangas. The dynasty of the Ganga rulers plays a significant part in the earlier history of Karnataka. The founders of the Ganga dynasty are the descendants of the Ikshvaku dynasty. They ruled from Kuvalala, Talakadu, and Manyapura, which is present-day Manne in Nelamangala and the rural district of Bangalore. The Gangavadi kingdom was ruled by 27 kings. King Dadiga was the first ruler. King Durvinita, who ruled for a long period, was famous as a brave warrior and scholar. To strengthen his kingdom, he gained control of Punnata. The Nallala copper inscription reveals that for the purpose of irrigation, King Durvinita constructed many lakes. He was a lover of literature, wrote creative works in Sanskrit and Kannada, and translated the Vadakatha of Gundaya from Prakrito Sanskrit. The king had a council of ministers who supervised different branches of administration. The administration in the villages was very systematic, and the village committees looked after land revenue, justice, sanitation, and defense. The main occupation was agriculture, trade relations with other countries were good. The society was patriarchal and divided into different yet interdependent sects and castes. Social values like honesty, loyalty, bravery and patience were prominent among the people, and the practice of an undivided family was common. The education centers were chaitalyas, temples, mutts and agraharas. Brahmapuris and ghatikas were for higher education. Tallakadu, Shravanbelagola, Bankapura and Peruru were the famous centers of learning. The Gangas were mostly Jains, so Jainism flourished during their rule. Pujyapada, Vajran Nandi and Ajit Sena popularized this religion. A 58-foot monolithic idol of Gomateshwara was installed at Shravanbelagola. The Maha Mastak Abhisheka of Gomateshwara takes place once in every 12 years to this day. Art and architecture were encouraged by the Ganga kings. Beautiful temples and basadis like the Kapileshwara temple at Manne, Pataleshwara and Maruleshwara temples at Kalakad, Kalaramma temple at Kolar, Nagareshwara temple at Begur were built. The statue of Gomateshwara at Shravanbelagola is also an example of their architecture. The tall pillars called Manastambas and Brahmastamba has been the significant contribution of the Gangas. The Ganga kings were lovers of literature and encouraged Sanskrit, Prakrit and Kannada languages and the works written in these languages. It was during this period that Madhava II wrote the commentary on Dattaka Sutra. King Durvanita translated Gunadhya's Vaddakatha from Prakrit to Sanskrit and wrote the Shabdavatara in Sanskrit. Sri Purusha wrote Gajashastra and Shiva Madhava wrote Gajastaka in Kannada. Raghava Pandaviya was written by the poet Hemasena and Nemichandra wrote Dravyasara Samgraha. Vadiba Simha wrote Gadya Chintamani and Shatra Chudamani, whereas Chai Vandaraya wrote Chavunda Purana. Let us now recap all the important points that we have covered in this module on the Ganga dynasty and their contribution to art, literature, architecture and religion.